to protect the firm. Won't you, Mitch?
We have faith that you're going to be with us for a long, long time, Mitch. The fact is, nobody has ever left us. Nobody.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. Welcome to another classic film review and a classic Tom Cruise film review. As you know guys, I have started to revisit some of the classic Tom Cruise films over the years and shine a spotlight on them, because when you actually look at Tom Cruise's career, it's remarkable how long this guy has stayed at the top. Truly remarkable really. Basically since the 80s he has been a Hollywood megastar. Top Gun Maverick has proven even today that he is still the number one out there. So I thought it was only fair and relevant that I started revisiting some of his classic films. And it is the 1993 crime thriller The Firm, that is directed by Sidney Pollack. It's based on the famous John Grisham novel, and obviously stars Tom Cruise, as well as, get this for a cast, Jeannie Tripplehorn, Gene Hackman, Hal Holbrook, Wilfred Brimley, Ed Harris, Holly Hunter, David Strathairn, Gary Busey, and yes, even Tobin Bell. Saw fans will recognise that name immediately. Now, what is The Firm about? Well, this film focuses on Tom Cruise's character, Mitch McDeere, who is a young lawyer who at the beginning of the film you see him being pursued by a number of law firms because the word is out there that he's very, very talented. He's going to be the next big lawyer sort of thing, and everybody's after him. He's being showered with offers at the beginning of the film, and then he gets an offer from a law firm down south, quite a small law firm in comparison to others, that is just can't be touched. So he joins this law firm with his young wife Abby, played by Jeannie Tripplehorn, and once he gets into this law firm, he then soon realizes that this is very corrupt, this company, and no lawyer ever leaves alive. So he has then got a choice. Does he rat them out to the FBI to save himself, or does he try and put a plan and a plot together to try and get out in one piece and also at the same time save his marriage and his career as a lawyer? Right, so The Firm then. Why is this such a good film? Well, number one, it's just so well made. Now, I'll be honest, in the 90s, certainly from memory anyway, John Grisham adaptations were a dime a dozen. They were like 2 or 3 a year, it seemed. I think the same year this came out, there was also The Pelican Brief. But literally, you could go through John Grisham films and they were just all over the place in the 90s. He was like the number one author to adapt, you would think. That doesn't really interest me. I've never read the book. I've never read a John Grisham book at all, really. On the surface, this is a film that I shouldn't really enjoy, but it's just so well made with an incredible cast. The Mitch McDeere character played by Tom Cruise is so likeable. You can't help but get behind him, and he's got great chemistry with Jeannie Tripplehorn, who plays his wife. So you can't help rooting for them. They're like the underdogs really in this. But I think what the film does so well is it doesn't just present good guys and bad guys here. You know, this law firm. Yes, on the surface of it, they are very corrupt and they kind of, are lawyers for the mob and all this kind of stuff. But we get to meet some of those lawyers working within that firm. Primarily the Gene Hackman character, Avery, who is Tom Cruise's mentor in the film. You could see that he's just a very complex character there, and perfect casting with Gene Hackman. I mean, Gene Hackman's an incredible actor anyway, always has been. And he gives this really layered and complex performance here in the film of this lawyer who he's accepted his fate. He knows he's working for a corrupt company, but there's this layer of goodness in him still. so you can't help but like the guy still. And there's others in the film. There's a couple of others that he gets close to, the Tom Cruise character, and you kind of feel like they're trapped. There's a great scene where they find out some lawyers have been killed, and it's presented as an accident. And this guy who's got quite close to in the law firm is sat in the garden getting sprayed on by a sprinkler, almost in a daze, because he kind of realizes the situation that he's in. Really, he can't get out of it. He's stuck. There's no way for him to go. And I think the film does a really good job of presenting that, in a sense of these aren't just the bad guys and these aren't just the good guys. And then you do get the very dark characters played by Tobin Bell and Wilford Brimley, who are the enforcers for this law firm, so to speak. And then also the film does a really good job of presenting the FBI. But the FBI is not much better. The Ed Harris character, they almost are blackmailing Tom Cruise to help. You know what I mean? So he's a guy who's been pushed constantly into the corner, and he comes up with this plan with Holly Hunter and his brother David Strathairn, who's his older brother who's in prison. So he kind of cuts this deal to get his brother out of prison and get some money, and they put this plan together to try and get the FBI what they need so that they can prosecute this law firm, but also allow Tom Cruise to keep his career. Because with him taking the oath as a lawyer, if he kind of gives away the secrets of his clients, he will never be able to practice law again. And he's worked too hard at that in his mind, so he has to come up with a different way of kind of getting this law firm. So it's a real cat and mouse. And as thrillers go, this one is really pitched perfectly, in a sense of it. The performances are excellent throughout, but it does keep you gripped and at the edge of your seat. And it slowly builds to this crescendo, the last half an hour of the film, where it's just manic, where he's literally clawing to save his life. He's hanging on by his fingertips by the end, the Tom Cruise character, the Mitch McDear. And Tom Cruise does such a good job, really, of presenting this character for us. Who basically is just fighting to stay alive, fighting to keep his career, fighting to keep his marriage, all the time being pursued by this corrupt law firm and the FBI as well. So it's spinning plates all over the place in this film, and I think that's what's really good and enjoyable about it. Is it does keep you on the end of your seat, and it does keep you interested throughout, and it's aged very well too. I just rewatched this to prepare for this review, and I think the film has aged really well. The only thing I don't like about this film, and I've never really liked it, and it reminded me when I rewatched it, is the music. It's like all piano and quite jazzy, and it just doesn't click with me, the music. For you guys, it might work. I've just never really been a fan of the music score in this film. It just doesn't seem to fit. But yeah, a really good Tom Cruise film, and it's bizarre to think this film is from all the way back in 1993. It literally feels like it could have been made, 5 years ago. It's aged really, really well, I think, as well. So yeah, really good Tom Cruise film for you guys to watch if you've never checked it out. It is definitely worth watching, with a fantastic cast and a film that will definitely keep you interested throughout. So thank you very much for watching. Any suggestions for Tom Cruise films you would like me to cover in this series of Tom Cruise reviews that I'm doing, let me know in the comments, and of course I'll be back with a little more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.